Good morning, African Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. The message reads like this. Morning, dear, please post for me on African Confessions. My husband's ghost won't leave me alone. So, I was married to the man of my dreams. He was tall, he was dark, he was ambitious, and very loving. I was a happy woman. I was in love. But our happy marriage went sour after a side chick got involved. I was so desperate to make it work that I was ready to do anything. I tried involving family, his family, my family, church, etc., but nothing seemed to be working. It seemed like I had lost my husband to his side chick. Then a friend of mine came with an idea. She later introduced me to a witch doctor. When my friend came up with this idea of us consulting a witch doctor, at first I refused. The reason why I refused, at first I was so hesitant because of my Christian background, but I had to save my marriage. A woman had to do what she had to do in order to save her marriage. I went ahead with this juju, but that witch doctor then told me that for his juju to work, I had to bring my husband's sperm the very following day, in which I did. To those who are going to ask you, how did this woman manage to bring her husband's sperm? This is how I did it. After having sexual intercourse with my husband, yes, it was unprotected because we are married. I harvested the sperm that my husband had ejaculated into me. Then I put it in a small container. Then I went back to that traditional healer. Then that witch doctor mixed his herbs and also added droplets of my blood into that bottle. He later gave it to me and told me to throw it where no one could find it. After some days, my husband came back crawling, begging for mercy, begging for forgiveness. He wanted me back, and I took him back. He was loving and caring again. I was so happy to finally have my husband back. Things went on well. He was under my control, total control. He was a submissive husband. Fast forward to 2 years later, he was involved in a car accident and my husband died on the spot. That was the worst thing in my life. I had lost the love of my life. But the day that my husband died, that was the first day that he visited me in my room at 2 a.m. in the morning. I was in utter shock and thought that maybe I was hallucinating or maybe I was just feeling the pain of his death. I almost ran mad, but this continued for about a month. He would come at night and just point at me, staring at me blankly. I couldn't tell anyone because maybe they would suspect me, and I was scared. I didn't know what to do anymore. After these encounters, I faced reality and I knew that this was no ghost. My husband was dead, but he was living at the same time. I still slept with him, knowing that my husband was dead. But whenever we would have sexual intercourse, the feeling was real, as if I was having sexual intercourse with a living human being. But his skin was so cold, as if he was dead. My husband and I, we were soul tied. The juju that I had done many years back had come back to haunt me. I went back to that witch doctor and I consulted with him, and he told me to deal with it myself. He said, you have made your own bed, you have to sleep in it. You couldn't help me anymore. My dead husband can't allow me to move on. Every man that I meet, and if a man proposes love to me, and if I accept that proposal, and if we sleep together, that man will eventually die. I am now afraid because he says that he wants me to go with him to the spiritual world. I don't want to go. I don't want to die. I am scared and I don't know how to deal with it. I have tried so many pastors and I have prayed till my tears have run dry. Only God can save me. But I am scared of confessing to my relatives and to my husband's relatives what I have done. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was forwarded to me by one of our admins. Please, let us talk about this issue in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.